one single crime being committed that there was a leakage and that leakage has not been plugged. It is the outcome of a conscious policy decision by Modi government. I will come to that later. So, that has been from day one, and after the atrocities and lathi charge on students, our point has been that accountability has to be fixed. The law does not provide that policemen without badges can go in for crowd control. The law does not provide that policemen in civil clothes can do a lathi charge. Laws are very clear. Supreme Court judgments are there on this issue. So, if the government of India is behaving, is treating police like a gunda force, then somebody has to be held accountable. And third, as Rahul Gandhi has been saying for last 3 days now, that Prime Minister has to apologize, because these are students, these are not criminals, they are not arsonists.
The government, or I would say that people who are part of the BJP's larger ecosystem say that the protests, though largely peaceful, on occasions have been taken over by antisocial elements, policemen have been attacked, which brings me to a larger rubric of question that most of these protests claim to be Gandhian, but they do lack that ethic of discipline.
Well, number one of the biggest outcome of this paper leak has been the leakage of BJP ecosystem. You go to the houses of BJP supporters, the parents are supporting Modi, the children are not. Their ecosystem is not a unified monolithic ecosystem which was designed by social media, where everybody was living in a silo, in a bubble. Those bubbles have burst. The same families now have kids, same families now have youth who are not agreeing to what propaganda is being poured out on television. They don't watch television. They have their own understanding, and these are kids who are facing that their future is dark. They are not agreeing to any promises made out by BJP ecosystem via their parents also. Forget about Prime Minister, forget about the ministers. They are not believing what even their parents are saying, because they are watching that there is a drop in people going to colleges. The latest survey on higher education has come out. It has come out 2 years, it is a delayed survey by 2 years. It shows that throughout India, for the first time, there has been a drop in admissions to undergraduate courses. There is a drop in people who are completing their courses. People who are completing are not getting jobs. The last survey was there which showed that out of 4 crore 33 lakh who went for higher education, only 80 lakhs, that is 20% got the job, and this includes gig workers. So, those people are not. So, their ecosystem is leaking, the ecosystem has burst, and these kids are now fighting for their own rights. Now, kids are not supposed to understand Gandhi. They have understanding Gandhi comes with experience. It does not come through books. B, Gandhi they may not understand, but that spirit of Gandhi is somehow imbibed in the Indian consciousness. So, once they go out, they understand what Gandhi did subconsciously. So, they have ensured that this is a movement of non-cooperation with the government. It is a movement of non-violence. You said yes, some people may have crept in, but we all know that BJP is adept in ensuring that every movement is defamed, every movement is infiltrated. They have been doing it for past 100 years now, their organization. So, that is nothing new. But the students, but the youngsters, despite not having studied Gandhi ever, have been using Gandhian techniques.
You know, it's very funny. You know, Gandhi is such a berated figure, criticized. Today, Ambedkar enjoys far more heavier political currency than Gandhi. But when it comes to any protest to be organized against any government, it has to acquire that moral arc. The people desire that moral arc of Gandhi.
Ambedkar's revolt was against the caste system. He used his entire intelligence, his entire education, his leadership quality to have a India where there is equality. So, people who have been on the wrong side of the caste system are his natural followers, because they see that he has delivered what several other social movements over 2000 years could not deliver. So, there is a god-like devotion towards Ambedkar now. Gandhi does not have a god-like devotion. What Gandhi's greatest success was that he gave a language of protest to common people ki you may be the weakest or you may be the privileged, but there is a way of coming together. Gandhi's method is not about single person doing anything. It is not that Gandhi will lie down in fasting and change will come. Gandhi is all about masses, and Gandhi has taught this world that when masses come together, it's like the old पंचतंत्र कहानी की छोटी छोटी टहनियों को तोड़ सकते हैं और सब इकट्ठी करके बंडल में आप तोड़ के दिखाइए. That wisdom has been distilled into Gandhi's ways and found way into the subconsciousness of this country, that we might be weak alone, but we are not the sole hero. We come together and we use those techniques, that if we are not doing any violence, why should the state bring violence on us? If we have to fight the government, then there is a corrective way of non-cooperation with the government, and this is what is ingrained now.
Okay, Gurdeep, tell me one thing. How do you find this current Gen Z young protest which is taking place in Jantar Mantar from the one which Anna Hazare did in?
Well, I will not stop at Anna Hazare, but I will start with Anna Hazare. Anna Hazare's movement was largely organized by RSS from behind the scenes, and now all the protagonists of that movement have themselves come on record and accepted it. It was an organized movement. The current movement is not organized by anybody. It is a movement which has come together on social media, and this is not the first time. We go to late 60s and 70s in this world. The entire world was up in arms, agitated in student movements then. All that Beatles era and all that Dam Maro Dam era. So, there have been student protests in various decades, and every student protest is like this only. They are people, they may call them, they are disrespectful. No, they do not care about the power, they do not care about hierarchies, they do not care about your protocols. They throw them away. They threw them away in 60s, in 70s, and they are throwing it away now. And second thing, this is the first movement which has come out of AI era, and this is for the first time the world is witnessing that how AI can generate a movement, because all the content is being generated through AI. Earlier BJP had done a very it had taken a full control of content creation on social media, because content creation was always a resource rich job. You have to hire professionals, you have to hire script writers, you have to hire researchers, you have to hire actors, you have to hire musicians, singers, and then the content was produced through large team. Suddenly this year, after the AI revolution has happened, and the last chapter was in May, which is just 3 months back, suddenly creating a song, creating a slogan, creating a video is just a matter of 2 minutes, and this generation knows it. So, this is a movement which does not require resources.
But how can you so sure that it does not have outside actors, you know?
No.
When I went,
I saw
ISA posters.
No, I am not saying outside actors. I am saying this is a movement, first movement which is not requiring any resources, because the need for resources on 2 counts. One is to create content so that people can bring together, and propaganda. That is taken care of through AI and social media. In other is sustenance, food, and that is coming through gig economy. People are ordering from Mumbai to deliver 100 samosas at Jantar Mantar. This is something new which technology has enabled. So, in last 15 years, the technology was enabling far right movements throughout the world, because the social media technology was that everybody lives in a silo. You get to hear only your like-minded people, and your views create some enemies and rumor mongering. This was the structure. Suddenly this year, this technologically this structure has broken down, and this generation has picked it up without even knowing what they are doing, but they are aware of what is happening. And suddenly you see a huge content generation. No BJP, no IT cell can match this amount of content creation which is coming out for free on AI.
Are you saying that this is a natural disruption? But where does it leave a traditional actor like Congress party?
Well, every party has to learn this medium. You cannot be behind the technology curve. That is one thing. B, these momentums are created, but to crystallize it into result, you need a structured system. It's too big a country.
Okay, that was a very good macro picture. I'm not going to have a debate on it, because I kind of agree with what you have said, that technology is one of the biggest disruptors, both when it comes to war, even when it comes to politics, or even economy. Technology has been the disruptor in human civilization. It's like a wheel. So, wheel changed everything. Coming back to this entire protest, what will Congress do now? Wangchuk's fast has been broken. Wangchuk's wife has been saying that Mr. Gandhi should have come to Jantar Mantar, though she also criticized BJP about its position on nationalism. But where is Congress party now? What will you do in Parliament?
We do not see the protests through the prism of Mr. Sonam Wangchuk. We have always considered him to be a person who has been innovative, who has sincerely been involved in social and technical projects, and he has a line of achievements behind him. So you do not question him. Issue is the reality which he himself accepted in one of the interviews, that he was asked by Ladakh LG to go and meet CJP people and plan the agitation. So there is a element of LG Ladakh coming into it, but that apart, the movement is of people. Even before CJP.
Why did you say? What am I supposed to make of it, that LG Ladakh asking Mr. Wangchuk to?
No, it is not my word. This is Mr. Wangchuk on record from Jantar Mantar to Indian Express on video. So this is not this thing. What we are thinking, we are cognizant of this fact, but we are ignoring this fact, because this is not a movement which is limited to one person. This is a movement of students across the country who are joined together, not through an organization, not through a leader, but through a common cause. So that's why we are not dividing this sentiment into various segments. Now, this is a genuine movement of the youth. Congress party, because of two reasons. One reason is that Rahul Gandhi was the first one to come against paper leak. He spoke about it in Parliament 2 years back. Government did not do anything. He again came up. He went to Kota, raised the awareness, and that awareness had a role in crystallizing this movement in a way. And our youth organizations, our student organizations have been protesting over more than 100 cities for the last 2 months now. So that's one part of it. Second part was that this is a spontaneous movement. Rahul Gandhi, Congress Party, NSUI, Youth Congress did their own part as a political organization. That cannot be wished away. But the reality is also that there was a spontaneous movement. And Rahul Gandhi is very clear that we are there to support the movement. Let the movement have its own space. So he goes to Prime Minister's house, sits there, he is mishandled, manhandled, he doesn't buckle down. He goes to Gandhi Smriti, he takes everybody along, he's brought all the India parties together, but it is to support the movement, because this movement is of the youth. And youth want that Dharmendra Pradhan has to resign, and that is what Congress party and Rahul Gandhi and India ally parties will continue to maintain even in parliament.
So if he doesn't resign, will the parliament remains dysfunctional?
Well, there's a stalemate then. Because why won't Dharmendra Pradhan resign?
Will Dharmendra resignation
NEET,
solve the issue?
It's not question of solving the issue. This is the first acknowledgement that there has been a policy level problem. And what is the policy level problem? Why, to be fair, paper leaks have been happening earlier also. Yes. Nobody denies it. What changed was that there are certain examinations in which no paper leaks happened ever. Like you have never heard of a UPSC paper leaking. You have never heard of a SSC paper leaking. You have never heard that a bank exam paper leaked. These were of a different nature. Paper which used to leak earlier was some university se leak ho gaya, some college se leak, whatever the different category. Standalone matters. Why UPSC, SSC papers didn't leak? Because there was a structure created. UPSC is a constitutional body. Its entire workforce is a permanent workforce. Everything it does is in-house. Yes. It has its own institutional memory, institutional wisdom, institutional knowledge. They bring about the best of the people to ensure that the results, the examinations are conducted in the most professional way. SSC is a statutory body made after an act. It also has the same elements. But when NTA was made, the recommendation was to make it a statutory body like SSC. But Modi government decided, and the recommendation was not by any political group. There was a committee of all the IIT directors, Professor Acharya committee, who recommended this. This committee's recommendation was ignored and NTA was created as a society. Now what difference does it make? UPSC is audited by CAG, SSC is audited by CAG, banks are audited by CAG. NTA is not audited. There is no audit. It does not have permanent employees, maybe a few number. So everything it does, be it paper setting, be it paper checking, be it transportation of the paper, data management, center location, it is all done on contracts. Thekedari vyavastha hai. And when a sensitive thing like examination for 22 lakh or 25 lakh people is done on theka, you cannot plug the leak. You cannot. And they created this thekedari model to give contracts to their own people, to their friends. So it's a policy decision. And when you are supervising a wrong policy decision, you have to be accountable for that. That is where Dharmendra Pradhan has to go.
Okay. You know, when I talk to a lot of children, they said, this is a apolitical movement. But when I asked, everything you ask for is political. There is a dichotomy, but that's okay. It's not for children to answer that. It's something for me as a journalist to understand.
No, there's no dichotomy in this.
Let me ask you the question. So my question is, it is a pure play political movement. There is nothing apolitical about it. They're asking for Dharmendra Pradhan's resignation.
I'll tell you, one of the biggest success of RSS project in this country has been to say that politics is bad. They have been on this project for decades now. They do politics, but they try to portray that politics is a bad thing. Because once you say that politics is bad, then automatically democracy has no place. Because democracy survives not because of politicians. Democracy survives because people want to be political, people want to have a political say, and that is why they want democracy. Democracy is a product of people, it's not a product of politicians. But RSS has been successful in establishing among masses that the democracy is to make somebody CM, somebody PM, somebody minister, somebody MLA. ये तुम्हारे लिए नहीं है, ये तो मंत्री बनने के लिए, मुख्यमंत्री बनने के लिए.
पर आपके लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन ने भी तो एक बार बोला था जयपुर में.
I'll come to
Power
that.
is poison.
I'll come to that. I'll answer to that also.
Sure.
So RSS has tried to delegitimize politics because they do not believe in democracy. They are in democratic system because Congress hegemony gave democracy in 1950, and to get to power they had to follow that route. But their plan is very clear since 1925, they do not believe in democracy. So, how to do away with democracy is to delegitimize democracy, is to delegitimize politics and say everything political is wrong.
Gurdeep, I think 2011 Hazare was the only time when a political protest was able to eat into legitimacy and erode the party in power, its legitimacy. But in last couple of years, the protests have become decoupled from electoral results.
I First, I refute this idea that Anna movement was the only one. In every 10 to 15 years, first Lok Sabha was in 52, 67 agitations were there and the coalition governments came, some with governments. 77 again agitation JP was there, the government went away. 87 it was around Bofors and everything changed. After 97 there was a small period of lull because new players came in, many people became, and then it was 12 Anna movement. So, every 10 to 15 years when a new generation comes up, there has been a agitation in this country which has swept away the power.
Okay.
So, that is one thing. Now, what was your second question?
My second question was that, these protests are decoupled from electoral outcomes. Farm law did not have any impact on what happened in Haryana.
Here also I differ.
Western Uttar Pradesh.
I differ.
You can differ.
Because there were protests during NDA 2 and because there was a parallel propaganda that Modi is invincible. So, two sets of realities were in this country. One set of reality was that people they wanted to vote away this, but because of the propaganda even the opposition parties were not confident that Modi can be defeated. So, end result when it came, everybody was shocked that he was contained at 240 instead of 400. So, it was matter of 20 seats and that 20 seat difference was because of the propaganda, continuous propaganda via media, via social media and via their organization, which led to a reality that most of the opposition parties, maybe barring people like Rahul Gandhi, were not sure of winning. People were wanting a change and the end result was that the UPA, the India Alliance got 37% vote and BJP got 37.2% votes. So, to say that those protests had no impact on the thinking of people is wrong. It is because of social media technology and complete surrender by institutions, Modi was able to create a image that he is invincible, which took away the confidence and last mile remained, which was 20 seats. 20 seats if he would have lost because of this, or if that confidence was there in opposition parties like JDU and he wouldn't have walked away from the alliance, Modi was out. Now, after 24, people understand this, that what propaganda, what balloon they try to blow up.
To conclude my conversation with you, where does it put Congress party in long run? They are not supporting.
Number one, there is no inflection point. You see, when Modi came to power, he had several ideas which RSS had been nurturing for 50 years, 60 years. So, they had Ram Mandir, they had 370, they had Pakistan, they had Teen Talaq, they had various uniform civil code. These were their core ideas. Then there was Swadeshi, there was Vishguru added to this, Make in India added to this. Now, after 12 years, some of these agenda have been completed, some everybody knows has failed and there is not a single new idea they have. There is not a single new dream they can now sell to people.
There is a delimitation.
Delimitation is not an idea, it is misuse of your power. It is like vote chori.
Women reservation bill.
Women reservation bill will come, it is not that only they will benefit.
One nation, one poll.
No, one nation, one poll they are not doing right now. These are management techniques. These are not ideas of governance. There is difference. There is no idea of governance. Nobody expects BJP Karyakarta to be honest now.
You know?
I'll tell you. You find one RSS Pracharak who did not marry, who was चना चबेना ब्रांडिंग वाला बंदा कि बिल्कुल सादगी वाला जीवन जीते हैं, who would go and do service. Now you find, is there a single Pracharak who's poor in this country, who's not moving in luxury cars? No, people know this corruption is not going to end. They know corruption has gone up. People know that Modi has no answer for jobs. Modi has, so this is not inflection point. This is a reality that the ideas have run out and you do not have a new idea. And Congress here, our vision is not limited to one Andolan. In coming months and years before 29, you will see Congress putting up, Rahul Gandhi putting up a whole new vision.
Well, I would only say, since I've run short of time, the proof of the pudding is in eating it. There will be an election in Punjab, there will be an election in Uttar Pradesh.
I totally agree. If we lose those elections, there can be only two outcomes. Either people will get disillusioned कि कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, जीतती तो बीजेपी है, or again the pressure will be so high that it will not be able to handle, nobody will be able to handle it. So these are two extremes. To ensure that democratic path is on, we have to win.
Okay. Thank you, Gurdeep. Thank you so much for giving time for News9. So this is all I had in this edition, a frank conversation with Gurdeep Singh Sappal. Thank you.
Amid a fragile ceasefire, stakeholders take on the tough questions.
Was Israel surprised by the asymmetric warfare which Iran started conducting?
Yes, I think it was a kind of surprise, the level of savagery.
Why has Iran stopped the traffic in the Strait of Hormuz?
So we have to defend ourselves.
Like never before, on point with Kartikeya Sharma, decoding Hormuz, Kharg and the ceasefire.
What is the future of peace in West Asia?
I hope that they got their lesson.
That are supposed to give a chance